I don't believe we have a trans problem. I believe that we have a human problem. We have a humanity problem. We have a bigger thing at play here than just trans people. And the reason I say I don't believe we have a trans problem, I believe we have a human problem, is because I've also learned through my experience about like gender dysphoria and like what that term really means and how like society and like the medical system will really place that term gender dysphoria onto the trans experience. And I've done a lot of deep work, and it's led me to realize and peel back layers to see that, dysphoria could simply be a way that society can control the trans narrative. It can control what healing you don't do because you've labeled yourself with dysphoria. Because when we think about dysphoria, let me get into it. What really is it? It's all about self-rejection. It's about hating yourself. It's about believing you were born in the wrong body. And dysphoria is not proof that you were born in the wrong body. Dysphoria is proof that you've been conditioned to believe that you've been born in the wrong body. Because as a trans individual myself, it's taken me a lot of years to get here at this point in myself, but like I'm okay with my body. I really am. I'm a trans man and I'm just okay with where I'm at. I truly am. The only time I ever feel like insecure or like discomfort really is when I'm out with other people and I notice other people's perceptions. But if I can just keep my perception and my truth at the forefront, then all of that dysphoria and other people's perceptions just fizzle away. And that's the whole point of life for all of us, right? As trans people and not trans people. It's to learn how to navigate this world, to become more self-efficient, to worry about our opinion more than other opinions, letting yourself be the driver in your life instead of sitting on the passenger and letting everything play out and then constantly reacting. But you become an active player in your life by responding. So I know that was a blabble, but like that's really what it comes down to is I don't believe we have a trans problem. I believe we have a deeper human problem because like why are we being fed this narrative? But then to take it a step further, to bring all humanity together in this conversation, is how I arrived here at this perspective and truth is through working on my internal state for years and then helping other people work through their internal state. I launched a self-development coaching business 4 years ago, and I've helped people, a number of people, through their internal transformation. I've helped them accomplish their goals, work through limiting beliefs, get better at emotional regulation, enhance their emotional intelligence, just really become the master of thyself. I've helped a lot of people through that process because I've worked through that process myself, and not just once, over and over and over again, because self-transformation and self-development, I truly believe it's a lifestyle. I believe it's choice by choice. I believe that it's moment by moment that you are creating yourself and developing your character, and in turn you're also creating the reality that you experience around you. So I do believe that self-transformation is a lifestyle. So anyways, my point in helping myself through my internal state and also helping other people do the same thing is I've learned that we're all kind of just dealing with the same problems internally. We're just not talking about it, and we're not given the right tools and support to actually work through it and heal it and transcend those things to understand them at a higher perspective. So in learning that most people around the world, inside the LGBTQ community and outside the LGBTQ community, because I've worked with all kinds of different clients, we all kind of carry the same stories internally, like when it comes to shame, when it comes to our self-image, when it comes to our body image, when it comes to our sexualities, when it comes to all of these things that we experience as humans, but society decided to stigmatize and decided to not give us the appropriate things we need to heal and see ourselves in bigger and higher ways. And all of this work, like this self-development, human potential, like behavior, the power of the mind, like all of that stuff, I became really obsessed because I was searching for answers. I was seeking truth. I was literally trying to figure it out. And in figuring it out, I was also helping other people figure it out. But through this process of seeing this like gender journey more through this like human development and this universal lens, what I've really come to realize is that gender identity struggles are not just about gender. They're very little to do with gender, and it has a lot more to do with the problems that we face as a human family, the problems and things that we face as a collective around the world, like the deeper human conditioning and fears and societal paradigms that take place in all of our internal states, and they play out in our daily lives in different ways. It's so interesting how we can all be carrying these things internally all in the same way, but externally they're manifesting in different ways, and we're not talking about it, and it's just turning this humanity around us into this like war zone, right? Like violent communication and war, like it doesn't have to be weapons and all these things. War and violence can literally start from the ways that we think and be at war with ourselves, and then manifest into like how that war with ourselves creates war with other people, or war with the things that we want in life. Like, you know what I mean? Like violence and war isn't just what you think in your mind. It's much deeper than that. You know, war starts from these very things that I'm talking about: human conditioning, fears, and societal paradigms. That is literally where it all starts. So if you take anything away from what I'm saying today, is that the root of all of our problems and struggles in every single minority group across the world, like everything that's going on in the world, the root of it is our belief system as a humanity. The only way to elevate and to heal and to get past the shitty circumstances that we're living in society today is to expand the human consciousness. Because the struggle isn't about all of these fucking labels that they give us, whether it be trans, people of color, disability, whatever it might be, like whatever label that you carry, and I mean this in the most humble, empathetic way possible. It's not about that label. What this day and age is really about when it comes to that label, because you think it's about that label, you think it's about that identity, it's about all of the fucking stories and all of the fears and paradigms and narratives that they have fed you about that label, that we as a collective in society, we do these things unconsciously. It's literally no one's fault, but it's our responsibility to heal these things and transcend them and make the collective a better place for everybody. So back to it. It's not about the labels or identity. It's about all the stuff that you've been fed about it. It's about all of those beliefs that you have inherited and internalized time and time again about your identity, your self-worth, and your self-expression. That is the root of all problems in the world that we see today. And I really deeply believe that. And that is why my mission is self-healing, is world healing. Because when you do this inner work, you start to see yourself, other people in the world differently, which also allows you to show up differently, which also allows you to have this impact on an energetic and global like consciousness level that you're not even recognizing that you're doing. Because as you shift your inner world, you literally shift the outer world. When you do this inner work, you carry yourself into a new energetic state, a new energetic frequency. You are literally raising your vibrations, as they say. When I think about like higher alignment, higher self, I think about getting into a higher state. So when I say that you are self-healing is world healing, when you do it, you're rippling out this new energetic frequency that you once weren't carrying before, but it took the inner work for you to transcend and work through all of those lower emotional states, all of those lower paradigms and belief states that we take on from society. You start to regulate and work through those things. You start to get yourself into a higher state. So that is really what I mean by self-healing is world healing. You have no idea what you are capable of when you start to tap into your human potential. It is limitless inside of your human potential. Like, we don't even know what we're fully capable of yet, and what science is out nowadays is absolutely mind-blowing. And it's not a question of like if you're capable, if you can or you can't, or this or that. It's literally just a question if you're willing to do the inner work and learn how to keep tapping into your potential. Like, it's limitless. So go do something with it. If we truly want to create a better world where people can be themselves, not just to become more acceptable of like trans people or LGBTQ LGBTQ people or people that are different from you. That's not what this is about. What this is about is really needing a radical shift in all of our inner states across the world when it comes to our identity and our self-worth and our self-expression. And that's why I truly believe like it's such like a slap in the face, like as a trans and LGBTQ plus person and queer person, to like demand respect or like feed into this war that they're feeding us here. Like I think it boggles my mind, because you need to do the work inside of yourself to get respect outside of yourself. You have to respect yourself and create the life that you want first before you ask other people for that self-respect. Self-respect is earned and self-work, and it's not just given to you because you exist. You know what I mean? Like, there is things that you have to do in order to grow yourself, to understand yourself at a deep level, and with that comes self-respect. And when you have self-respect in yourself, like, you stop demanding it from the outside world, because you just know that you're worthy just as you are, and you don't have to feed into those things. So again, it's not a trans problem. It's not about being accepting or tolerable of other people. It's really diving into the root of what's caused the state of the world to be where it is right now. Think about it. Maybe gender isn't the real problem at all. Maybe it's the idea that we've been taught to reject ourselves, reject our truth, our power, and our potential. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.